Oh, I guess we are live. It was just giving me a message. Good evening, everybody. Our legacy. This is Coach Jimmy G, along with my co-host of the Legacy and Leadership Podcast, Devon Watts Jr. We're coaches with L3G, which is the Legacy Leadership Learning Group. So we appreciate all of you being with us live this year for you. The main thing that we're going to be getting into today is just coming at you with another topic and talking about how to get you 9 tips to do so. Maybe you are in a situation where some type of anxiety going on, and there's just certain things that are going on in your head, again, that you just can't seem to get rid of them. Or a situation that happened to you like 10 years ago, or like myself when I was a youth and like my pants split when I was in school. And it's just causing you, again, some trepidation. So we want to go ahead and give you 9 tips. That was a true story. It really happened. Super embarrassing. On things you can do to get out of your head and be able to focus. And of course, give you some updates. The first update that we want to start promise to our folks out there, whether you are on the podcast itself, and if you are, we definitely have a review. If you're more looking for that visual component and you focus on the vidcast, that will be dropping in a couple of hours. But regardless, the podcast dropped today. And my boy Devon came up with a nice little name for us. So why don't you go ahead and break down to the folks particular podcast episode is about.
Yeah, absolutely. So the title of this podcast is Some Assembly Required. And that's because in this episode, what Jimmy and I are talking about specifically is when we're talking about the importance of creating a plan when you're setting goals. So being able to plan your work and also work your plan. But more importantly, the ability to persevere when, unfortunately, maybe the weather, the situation, the circumstances don't necessarily align with the plan that you've set up. So we know that you're going to have to build it, right? You're going to have to build it. You're going to have to figure it out. And so some assembly is going to be required when it comes to pursuing your goals. And so that's what this episode is about.
Are we asking them to assemble, Devon? Without getting into too much detail.
Sure. Yeah. So what we're asking them to assemble, we're asking you guys to assemble your strategy, your plan, your game plan for executing on your goals, right? So what are the actual steps that you're going to take after you define what your goals are? What are the actual steps that you're going to take in order to achieve your defined success?
So if you haven't heard it yet, definitely go to your favorite podcast platform. We're on all of them. If you prefer iTunes, definitely go there. Again, Vivify, Google Podcasts, Castbox. Again, there's a number of them out there, but we're pretty much everywhere that you prefer to be. So go ahead and listen to that. And then leave some comments as well. We always appreciate that to hear back from our folks and get your thoughts on what you think in regards to the topic that we're discussing. And then again, the vidcast is going to be dropping within the next few hours on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't done so yet, check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/podcast. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, go through the videos, again, and leave comments. We really love loyal legacy leaders that are very consistent leaving us comments. So we have some good discussions and back and forth just within the comments under the YouTube. Make sure that you go and check that out. If you haven't done so, you can watch all of the videos from season 1, and of course catch up on what we've been doing in season 2, and micro learning content within one of those sections that I'm sure you'll enjoy as well. So there's a few different topics that a new micro learning video that our other partner Rico is working on that should be going live within the next couple of days. So again, excited on the YouTube channel. Make sure that you check it out. So yeah, again, I'm just excited. It's a good day. It is definitely a day of having some positive attitudes about just what's going on in general with the world, but even what's going on with us. We are very excited. If you one thing that Devon and myself and the team have been focused on is creating and launching our first online course. The Legacy and Leadership podcast, if you think about what is now more than a pod and our actual company, the Legacy Leadership on entrepreneurs, business owners. We're focusing on corporate professionals, whether you're, kind of new and just getting, within that leadership realm. We all at times have challenges with being focused. That is something that, and sometimes anxiety, gets to a particular point. I really had to learn different methods and practical methods to allow me to be able all of the distraction in my mind, and then really figure out what are the best tools and time management practices to help me focus. Devon at that realm, and we combined those experiences, we combined that knowledge and the thoughts into, again, what is the force, which we're super excited about. So before we actually get into the lesson for today, which is, again, how to get out of your head, we share that with you guys because we think that it's very important for you to know. Focus for success. Discover what it takes to develop a laser focused mind and success. Devon, why don't you tell me your thoughts? I know, again, we're both happy, but I want to hear from you in regards to how you feel about where we're at and this course that we've just launched.
Well, man, I'm encouraged about where we're at currently with not just the Legacy Leadership Learning Group, but also the community we've been able to build, and just excited that we have an offering that we can give our legacy leaders to really help you actualize your goals, again, as you head into 2021, and we've gone through the resolution process to really refine your approach on how you're going to not play with 2021 just like 2020 did not play with us. That's really the focus at the end of the day. And so I'm just excited to be able to offer this. We had a couple of legacy leaders that got the benefit of getting early access to our Focus for Success course. Individuals that applied through the raffle and have been participating for quite some time, and the excitement from them is one of the things that I wasn't necessarily prepared to expect. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but just to get that overwhelming sense of, hey man, I'm excited to get to learn and to enrich myself. It's just rewarding, man. It just kind of validates why we set off on this journey almost 8 months ago.
Nah, for sure. I mean, definitely, again, the feedback that we've gotten so far has been great. And, you can kind of consider this a beta offer. It is only available for you really until Sunday at 12 midnight. But we want you to really think about, like, if you're ready to develop that laser focused mind and achieve success and really achieve the goals that you've been trying to attain and finally solidify for yourself in your life, then again, you're not going to want to miss what we have for you. First, it starts off with the Focus for Success ebook that's over 30 pages of content designed to help you, give you tips and strategies, and not fluff, but give you specific area focus on that, again, are going to help you really, really be able to hone in your focus on the things that are most important to you and what you're trying to get done. So we definitely talk about mentally things that you can do, physically things that you can do. So there's four key areas. Again, get into the and you'll get all of the specific areas and details that you need to help you in that specific respects. Devon created 9, which is the distraction diffuser. Again, really helping you to take a look at something that is personalized for you. Things that kind of generally help us to maybe try to get a little bit more focused and kind of get the cloud out of the brain. But this is designed to be focused for you. So there's things that really help you look inside, figure out what makes you tick, And then once you have a better idea of yourself and what makes you tick, how do you take these strategies and specifically for you to make sure that they work? And then we have another 9 videos developed primarily by myself. Again, this was definitely a team collaboration. Here are different voices depending on what series you're listening to, but productivity secrets, time management tools, and strategies that you need, one, to help you yourself in a more strategic way, and then the tools that you need to make sure that you're planned for the day so you're not forgetting about tasks. So the plans that you have set for yourself, you're able to accomplish and make sure that, again, you're doing it with success every single time. So we definitely want to make sure that you take advantage. Again, invest in yourself. Focus for Success course enroll now is available to you. You can see the web address in that banner below. So bit.ly/focus for success course. That'll take you to the landing page. You can get more details and again, learn everything that you need to learn to make a decision. Hopefully you've already made a decision. If you know us and you've been around us for any time, you know that we do things with excellence, and we want to make sure that we deliver great. And I'm positive that this does just that. So check it out, Focus for Success. Again, you can't go wrong. Invest in yourself. This is 21. You want to make sure you're taking the right steps and making the right type of investment to help you, again, achieve the goals that you're looking to achieve for the new year. So as we continue to move on, as promised, how do you build your head? Again, there might be some moments where you're trying to get something done. You can't get out of your head long enough to stay focused. Whatever that reason may be for you, sometimes, again, we just really, really struggle to get out of our head. So if this sounds like you, then you want to make sure that you stick with us as we go over these tips to help you deal with exactly that. Number 1 has to do with scheduling a reflection time. So ironic that even earlier today, I was on a meeting with the job, and this kind of came up. I was, talking to a few mothers, co-workers, and just how we in general just have a hard time, but moms especially, I see this, kind of finding that quiet time for themselves and making sure that they have some time to reflect and kind of get away from it all, and just how it is for us to do that. So schedule some reflection time. Again, you can't eliminate all the thoughts that are going through your head. So why not schedule some time to actually give yourself a moment to do that? So like just schedule some good old me time, and it's okay to focus on yourself with just your head. Hopefully this will really allow you to carry on distraction free for the rest of your day. But I think one of the keys is making sure that you actually time out, that you block that time out for yourself.
Yep, absolutely. So the second tip, right, which is write your thoughts down. Obviously, if you find yourself really lost or engulfed in just kind of this negative self-talk, worry, anxiety, all these negative feelings, sometimes the best thing that you can do is channel those thoughts by getting them out of here and then committing them to paper. Just the exercise sometimes of just writing down those thoughts, those feelings, those anxieties, those worries allows you to not only release them, but also start going through the process of even trying to understand them, trying to decipher them, right? And so writing down your thoughts can be a very, very helpful tool for being able to get out of your mind.
So we have a Facebook user that's on live with us right now. And at first I really don't understand who it is. I'll show you the first comment. They were just showing us some love and saying, I really appreciate you guys doing this. Seriously, so many times we focus too much on the goal, but hardly on how to get there. This might be the same person, but this is the second comment that just came up. Plus, I honestly didn't have a hand in making the bed.
I 1,000% had a hand in making the bed.
I'm sure that's the case. Number is spend time with your loved ones. When you spend time with people that you truly care about, like, you're going to be less likely to be lost and fully engaged in that moment, right? And be with that person or the group of family members that you're with. And when I say fully engaged, like, really listen closely to what they're saying, observe how they're saying it, observe what they're doing, and just feel the joy of being with your loved ones at that moment. You do, and take the focus off yourself, and you're focusing on your loved ones and the people you're around. Again, you'll find it much, much more easier to kind of get out of your head and get rid of it. So whatever it may be that is causing you worry and anxiety.
All right, so number 4, we talked about this before, but it's still timely to talk about as an effective tool for getting out of your head and then helping with your focus, which is establish a meditation routine, right? We talked about finding some quiet time, but it's not just about isolating yourself and isolating your thoughts. Now it's about focusing those thoughts, right? What are the things that you're telling yourself? What are you visualizing? Being able to create a meditation routine for yourself allows you to create the habit of being able to center yourself so that you're able to tackle whatever the day has to offer. Again, we've all been there. We know how it is. Things are moving a million miles a minute, and that pace has only increased as our lives have changed coming out of 2020, and everybody's just confined to working from home. And so you need to be able to have that dedicated time to center yourself, because right now the lines between your professional, your personal are definitely blurred. So you need to have some clear delineation by establishing a meditation routine.
Absolutely. It's not easy, but I know that it's something that I consistently put focus on and try to make sure, okay, can I do it once or twice a week? Can I kind of up it from there? It's just a normal routine for me throughout the week, right? But definitely research shows if you meditate every day, especially if you can get to that point where you're meditating for at least 20 minutes at a time, you would, and if you do that consistently for a few months, you will see mentally, emotionally, the benefits of giving yourself that time. Devon and I are no strangers to number 5. Work up us, man. Like, it's hard to worry about your thoughts when you feel like your heart is about to come out of your chest. I've been reminded about that back to my CrossFit gym about 3 months ago. And it is so true that no matter what you may have going on in your life, what or struggles or worries you may have, as soon as that clock goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you start that workout, like, you forget about everything else, worrying about whatever that exercise is that you're about to do. Now, you don't have to go super hard, right? You don't have to do CrossFit or, again, exercise where really your heart is about to come out of your chest, but just spending time exercising is going to help you get out of your head and give you that moment to focus on that and also focus on yourself. And of course, you're going to get the normal benefits of exercise that will improve your health overall, improve your confidence, improve your energy levels altogether. So definitely work up a sweat. You won't regret it, and it'll definitely help you to, again, get out of your own head.
Yeah, before we jump into number 6, I'll just say I'm definitely a big fan of number 5. For me, that kind of acts as my meditation time, because I often find when I start hitting it hard, that's when my mind seems to quiet the most, right? And so I've tried to combine those two, but so I'm a firm believer in number 5. But for number 6, take action on your thoughts, right? Again, if you're lost in this worry, this anxiety, this doubt, this fear aspect of your life, why not try taking some action? And it doesn't have to be anything drastic. It doesn't have to be dramatic, right? We're not asking you to go out there and charge and face whatever that fear is. The action can be something as simple as, identifying ways that you can address the areas that are causing you worry, right? So we talked about writing down some of those thoughts. This is taking it a step further. Write down those thoughts, those worries, those anxieties, and then start to jot down what are some actions that I can take in order to address it. just the mere take action or taking the step of writing down actions that you can take to address your thoughts will automatically start to help alleviate and relieve some of that worry, that anxiety, that tension that you may ultimately be feeling. So again, taking action on your thoughts can definitely be a good tip to get out of your mind.
Yeah, a lot of times we're focusing so much on the challenge, the issues, whatever's causing that anxiety. Again, I just do something, take action, to take those steps to help eliminate that. But we actually have 3 action steps that we're going to give you at the end of this that will help you to do so if you're kind of stuck in that taking action. Number 7 really has to do is, what do you value? Do you know what matters to you? That might sound like a silly question, but most of us define what we care about the most. One principle, especially when it comes to self-leadership, is that I coach folks on, is really focusing on your values that then help you to create your vision and really your mission statement for your life. But my values are what keeps her, because there's always going to be things that come and try to steer me in a particular way or take my attention to another direction, or just cause me some trying to cause me some type of roadblock. But when I know what my values are, it's easier for me to stick to my standards, what I hold, and to not deviate from that. So when you figure out what means absolute most to you, the thoughts of the things that don't matter, like, really start to drift away. What are the things that I value? What are the things that mean the most to me? And when you focus on that, again, those worries tend to fade away. Or really, if you haven't, I would encourage you guys to really take some time to, again, write down and really think about, what are the 4 to 5 areas that you value in your life.
Cool. So the 8th tip, right? You can use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So what do we mean by that? What is a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method? Really, it's a method about reorienting your thoughts and shifting your focus from these, again, this negative self-talk, these negative worries and anxieties, and again, directing that energy and that thoughts into other directions, right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. It means pick out 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and then 1 thing that you can taste, right? By focusing on all of these different senses and directing your thoughts to other areas, you're able to alleviate the worry, quiet your mind, recenter yourself, right? So that you can move forward.
Absolutely. And it really is a powerful method, again, when you just give yourself that time to take a step back and focus again on those items mentioned. Number 9, we're on our last tip, and then we're going to get into, again, 3 specific action steps. And this is going to talk to a professional. If you've listened to season 1, there's a few different episodes where Devon and I go into this conversation, and we talk about the importance and the benefit and the advantage of talking to a professional. If you feel so stuck in your head, negatively impacting your mental well-being, your career, your relationships, we really, really, really encourage you to speak with a professional. I think that might be something that, years ago was a little bit taboo. But now, again, I think that, especially with what we went through 20 and some of the mental health challenges, because we were isolated and kind of stuck due to the pandemic, it just made it easier to talk about. And even all transparency, I had some things that I realized I was holding on to for a long time. And I realized, what? Through the encourage of my friend and my business, what? You really should. You really should go talk to somebody. And just a mere fact of having that conversation and talking to someone I was thinking of what was going through, like that in itself just helped tremendously. So if you feel like there's things that are stuck in your head that you just cannot get out of, you find yourself again in that mode, we super encourage you to talk to a professional, and do your best to to do so. There's hopefully the lawyer and where you're at kind of with your work situation, maybe there's some resources that they provide to you as well. But in any case, we definitely encourage you to talk to a professional. We know how much it's helped, and other people that I know that can do this on a consistent basis, and how healthier they are mentally, spiritually because of those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely, man. One of the things I would just share, if you've been rocking with us through this cold brew and convo segment, you know that we talked on one of the segments about asking for help. And this touches on that, being able to talk to a professional. Sometimes, right, you're just not
Yeah,
equipped with the tools or the resources to be able to navigate and work through these things on your own. And we need a safe space. Sometimes we need a safe space, a safe sounding board where we can express ourselves openly, free of any judgment or concerns about the impact that may have on relationships that we value. And so that's where talking to a professional can just be tremendously beneficial, right? Because
yeah,
not only do they have the tools and the perspective, the outside perspective to help you think through and navigate these things and challenge you on some of these thoughts, right? But again, just the process of talking it out can just be so liberating and freeing. So I'm definitely a huge proponent. We're definitely a huge proponent of that. Having both, sought out professional help at various points in our lives. It's just it's critical. Like we talk about the importance of being balanced from a mental perspective, a physical perspective, and a spiritual perspective. This mental aspect is just so critically important. You cannot operate at your peak self as a leader if mentally you're not sharp and you're not in the game and where you need to be.
absolutely, for sure. All right, so 9 tips to help you get out of your head. Now, as promised, 3 action tips for you. So that was kind of the strategy. Now, these tactics, right? We don't want to just give you information. We want to make sure that we're leaving you with something that you can do today to start to take action and, again, get out of your own head. Pick a time each day where you can be alone with just your thoughts. That might sound scary. But if you don't focus on yourself with your thoughts, it's going to be that much more difficult to try to get rid of some of those negative thoughts, right? So 15 minutes should be more than enough to start. Use this time to just and then make a mental note of any reoccurring worries that come about. What I would ask you to do, I heard this earlier today, kind of give yourself that mental picture of a scale, right? We have that picture of weighing the scales, and on one side, what are some positives, and then maybe what are some things that are worrying you, and how is your life, those thoughts kind of balanced out right now, right? So just make a mental note of any worries that you have that might be balancing the scale in and tipping the scale in a negative manner. That's action item number 1. The second thing is focus on that reoccurring worry. So once you've given yourself time to think about it and kind of see what comes up in your mind, and hey, that's really a reoccurring worry, actually write down a few steps that you can now start taking to address the worry. And that's really your action plan. Right? So step 1 is give yourself time, your thoughts, and really pick out what is worrying me. Now that I have an idea of that, let me start brainstorming some things that I can do to address that worry. And then number 3, I'm going to take action. Right? So maybe I have 5 things that I've come up with that I can start to do to address that worry. But just pick one. Pick one, simplest one, and then just start working on that. You don't have to finish necessarily anything. It's just important for you to take that first step. All right, saying for weeks now, it's not about perfection, it's about direction. So what is that reoccurring worry? What are some things that I can do to address that worry? And one thing, maybe the simplest one, and start focusing on that again to start taking steps in the positive direction. And then last but not least, we just want to leave you with some additional reading and some books that you can go through, interested in really diving a little bit deeper into this topic of how do I get out of my head and what are some tips and strategies. So the first one, out of your own way, which is A Skeptic's Guide to Growth and Fulfillment. Stop the spiral of toxic thoughts. Again, we talk a lot about yourself and the thoughts that you allow into your mind and how that affects everything else that you do and just how you feel. Get out of your mind and into your life, right? So focused inside that we forget and lose sight of everything else that is around us. And then get out of your head, a toolkit for living and overcoming anxiety. Again, I've seen it in my life, in my family, just folks dealing with anxiety. So these are, again, some reading and information that you can absorb that will help you to focus and, again, then get out of your head. Any last thoughts, my friend?
No, man, I just hope that our legacy leader community finds a lot of value in, again, the tips and the 3 action items that we've provided. Again, we are trying to share as much as we possibly can with you guys, our community, to aid you in your journey as, again, you tackle 2021 with just a renewed focus, a renewed urgency, a renewed intensity and ferocity to every single goal that you've set out. Again, if there was anything that resonated with you, please don't be afraid to pass on the good word and to invite more people into the community. And again, if you want to know a little bit more about how to set goals properly, how to focus for success, and how to persevere, definitely check out all that we've had to offer so far with the Legacy and Leadership Podcast for Season 2, as we continue to work towards the vision of being more than a pod for our legacy leader community here in 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we definitely encourage you to not just check it out. You've invested in yourself by dedicating time to the podcast and the vidcast. You've invested in yourself by dedicating time to being we have, which is a legacy leader community. Take that additional step and invest in yourself some more. Take advantage of the Focus for Success. This beta launch is going to be open until Sunday. Actually, we got 2 weeks, so not this Sunday, but the 31st. So you have time, but don't waste time. It is there for you. So bit.ly/focus for success course. That'll take you to all the details, see everything that's entailed there for you. Again, you're not going to want to miss it. We know that you're going to find a lot of value from that. Hopefully, again, this really helped you guys out. If you haven't listened to the podcast, the episode just dropped today. Vidcast is going to be dropping in we definitely appreciate you guys hanging with us for another session of Cold Brew and Convos, which your L3G co-boy and good friend Devon Watts Jr. Again, we appreciate you guys very much. Very, 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 very good. So y'all take care. God bless and continue to stay encouraged, everybody.